All right, I think we're live. Hi, everybody. As you come in, please say hi. I'm going to do my best to keep track of messages, but that's a little challenging. Welcome. Thanks for joining me. Let's see. First thing I need to do is stop saying We're going to start with that. So my name is Julie. I go by the dance name of Julia Moon, and this is my dance class for Moon Jewel's Bellydance. For those of you who are brand new to Bellydance, stick with me. I'm going to start at the very beginning, or at least my very beginning, and try and teach you as best I can from home what belly dancing is all about, okay? Or at least my version. So we're gonna, I'm gonna talk for just a few minutes to give people a chance to come on. I'm hoping that this is all going to work. I don't see any comments yet. So if you're on, please comment so I can see if it's going to work or not. Like I said, I'm kind of new to doing live on YouTube. I'm very new. I've never done a live on YouTube. I've done live in my group Facebook, but I wanted to make sure this was available to everybody and not just my own private group. We're all going through a lot of interesting situations right now, and so we want to make the best of it and make sure that everybody can participate. All right, I see something on there. Yay! All right, I see a comment. Hi, Penny. Welcome. Thank you for commenting. I appreciate that. If you're on and you have not commented, please do so. That way I make sure that I can see. Okay, cool. So let me just start off with a few different things I wanted to touch bases on. Typically, there's another one. Rashana, oh my God, how are you, girl? Good to see you. So basically, we're all in a situation right now, right? And I know that my ladies that usually dance with me, we're all really wanting some classes and something just to kind of keep them cheered up while they're at home and can't go anywhere. So I've been trying to figure out how to do all this. And you know what? I just decided this is going to be my gift to the universe. All right, the lighting is doing really weird things. I apologize for that. Whatever, we'll figure it out. It just keeps going on. Maybe it's to keep you interested. I don't know. So we're all going through times, right? And everyone's kind of uncertain about how things are going and finances and all that. So I decided I'm just going to run my class for free online. If you are able to make a donation, I would so be grateful to you. I did set up a Patreon account so you can make a donation. You guys, it can be like $5 a month. It could be $1 a month, whatever. And if you can afford it, my usual class prices are like $36 a month. I still try and keep them pretty affordable, but you do you if you're able to. And if you're not able to, that's totally okay. All right. The way that you can help me out is by supporting my channel. So if you're not able to make a financial donation, which is totally fine, I understand, then give me thumbs up. Do a subscribe to the channel, make comments, because all of that stuff helps the algorithms and helps this AI universe to get things to pop up, and share it with a friend. Okay. So that's kind of what we got going on with there. That being said, during this time, I know a lot of your teachers, your regular teachers, are trying to put together some sort of online class. If you're able to continue participating with them and supporting them and paying for those classes, please do so, okay? If you're able to support the people who are giving things to you, please do that. Please make those supportive contributions to the people who are supporting you in your artistic endeavors. Told all my friends, thank you, Penny, yay! Okay, cool. So support your teacher, all right, as best you can, even if it's just to send them a message, hey, I'm thinking about you, whatever, because they're missing you just as much as you're missing them. It's been really hard not to have my girls. I don't know. Anyway, so that being said, there are a ton of different styles of belly dancing, okay? I have been belly dancing since 1990. We're hitting 30-year mark this year. And I know some of you have been dancing longer than me, and some of you are just brand new beginners, and that's totally fine. I haven't been running a beginner class. I've been mostly just working with my normal troupe of ladies. So I'm going to today offer you a my version of a beginner 101. So my disclaimer being that I do a lot of different styles and I kind of mix and match them together. All right. I love cabaret. That's probably where most of my heart is. That's where I started. But it's not where I started. I started at an SCA event. I started dancing barefoot around a campfire in the middle of the night to live drums and fabulous musicians. That's where I started. That's where I felt belly dance inside of me. It hit my soul and has never left. And it has just been such a wonderful part of my life that I want to make sure I'm sharing that with you. That being said, I may have different names for things. I may execute movements just slightly different than your teacher did or than you've seen in the past. That doesn't make one of them right and one of them wrong necessarily. There's lots of different styles that happen in belly dance, okay? So, like I said, I started dancing around the campfire, barefoot, stomping it into the ground, doing all that earthy, yummy stuff. I learned cabaret. I've performed on stage. I've performed in restaurants, nightclubs, all the things. But where is it the most fun? Teaching my girls at the local rec center. That's where I have a good time, but I love to perform. So I've also studied American tribal style, ATS, tribal, I think now that we're calling it Fant Chant style or something like that. So I've done a lot of different things. I've studied from a lot of different people. So I've mixed and matched a lot of things together, okay? So just forgive me if it seems different. Follow along. If it rocks your world, awesome. I'm planning to do this. Right now, I'm going to plan to do it every Saturday afternoon, okay, as a beginner level class. And then I'm probably going to also do a more intermediate advanced choreography for those of you who have been dancing a little bit longer and this seems kind of low level for you. But you know what? It's always good to go through the stuff, right? Okay, so we're going to do it. So I have put together what I consider my warm-up. Please don't take any offense to any of it. If I say something that bothers you, I'm sorry. This is my version, okay? I've mixed a little bit of Tai Chi, a little bit of Qigong, and just some of a spiritual practice into it. It makes my heart happy. My regular ladies seem to like it, so that's where we're going. All right? All right. So let's see. No other comments at the moment that I can see. Let me just double check this real quick because I don't know how all this works. All right. I think I posted that. I don't know. Can't tell you. All right, whatever. All right, you guys. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Like I said, please put comments, thumbs up, like, share, subscribe, all those things. And we're going to keep this free. And if you're able to donate, that's awesome. Here we go. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put on my playlist that I like to go through. And we'll go from there. Here we go. All right, let's see if I can find my playlist. Playlist, teaching, class. Here we go. I'm going to keep the music kind of low so that you can hear me talking over it. I'm not sure how the sound is. I hope you can hear me. All right. All right, I'm going to teach into the mirror, so you're going to see the back of me. Hopefully that helps you to figure out right and left. So looking into the mirror, this is my right arm. This is my left arm, okay? Here we go. We're going to have our feet kind of spread apart, all right? Just a nice, casual, comfortable position. Take a deep breath in and exhale. Good. And another deep breath in. And exhale. One more big one. Here we go. This time as you exhale, I want you to hinge forward at the hips and make a flat back. Lean, 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 lean. Flat back. Good. And hold it there. Now release your neck and your arms and come all the way down to the floor like a rag doll. Soft shoulders, wiggle your head, wiggle your neck. Just get nice and loosey-goosey, right? Good. Walk your hands over to your left foot. Do a nice stretch across the body. Good. Walk your hands through the center and over to the right foot.
Good, and back to the center. There we go. Bend your knees, drop your tailbone down, and a nice slow roll up. We're coming up one vertebrae at a time, with your head and your neck being the last ones to come up. Good. All right, let's roll our shoulders. Push them forward, up, back, and down. Forward, up, back, and down. Forward, up, back, and down. Good. Looking over your left shoulder towards the back wall. And through the center over the right shoulder. And to the left. And to the right. Good. Back to the center. Looking up at the ceiling and then down towards the floor. And here's the stretching of the back of the neck. Up to the ceiling and down to the floor. And one more time, up to the ceiling and down to the floor. Good. Head comes up to neutral. We're going to take our left ear over to our left shoulder. So head tilt over to the side. Good. Over to the right side now. Right ear to right shoulder. And over to the left. And over to the right. Good. One more time on the left side. Hold it there. Right arm's going to come up like it's on a table. The left arm is going to touch that forearm and give it a little bit of tension. So you're kind of stretching out that right shoulder blade while your head is tilted over towards the left. Good. Release your hand. Roll your head down and over to the right side. Right ear over the right shoulder. Hold your left arm up like it's on a table. Right one comes onto the forearm and a little bit of stretching out of that shoulder blade. Release your hand. Roll your head down over to the left and up to the ceiling and the right and down over to the left and up to the ceiling and the right and down over left and up to the ceiling and right. Switch directions at the bottom. Over to the right and up and left and down. Over right and up and left and down. One more. Right and up and left and down. Bring your head up to neutral. Walk your feet in. Toes in heels and toes in heels. Okay? Turn the music down just a little bit. It's kind of loud to me. I'm yelling over my music. Okay. All right. So here we go. This is going to be our basic posture. Your feet are fairly close together. You can maybe have like one fist in between your feet. That would be probably about the farthest apart you want, right? Your toes are pointed forward. Your knees are softly bent. So just kind of a little bounce, bounce, bounce there. You're going to bring your tailbone down to the floor, bringing your pubic bone up. So here's that rotation. So instead of having your booty up, you pull it down. Okay? So tailbone down, pubic bone up. Makes this a nice neutral flat area. Okay? Feet are flat, toes are forward, knees are soft, pubic bone up, tailbone down. Take your shoulders, roll them forward, up, back, down. Bring your hands into your sides here, just kind of at your hip to rest them. I like my elbows to come out, and I like to form this little kind of diamond shape here, okay?
And then you're going to put your chin back over in alignment of your spine. And you're going to put a pleasant smile on your face. Don't frown. Doesn't have to be a cheesy grin, just a pleasant look. Okay, here we go. We're going to bring our hands overhead into undulate, which is a prayer hand. So bring them down, around, and up. Nice prayer hand position together. Pull that down to your heart chakra. So pressing the palms of your hands together. There we go, right at your heart. I want you to close your eyes. Take a deep breath in and out. Good. And right here, we're going to get our vibrational frequency in good alignment. So I want you to think good thoughts, love and light, and gratitude and appreciation, and kindness and compassion, and forgiveness, and peace, and joy, and happiness. Good. All right. So now here we go with the stretch. Arms up through the center. Go up and bring it down. Good. We're going to form a triangle shape at the root chakra. So here we go. It's our triangle and fingers come together. We're going to invert those fingers. Come up through the center. Rotate your hands over the top. Triangle up and release. Try that again. Triangle at the root. Triangle at the root. Fingers come together. Up through core. Gathering, collecting anything not serving you, and let it go. One more time. Triangle at the root. Fingers together. Up through core. Gathering and collecting. Rotate your hands overhead and release. Good. Big scoop of energy from behind you. Pull it in. So we're going big, pull it around, feel all that big ball of energy in the belly and lift it up and trickle on down. Good. Interlace your fingers. Like that. Push them down, around, and up overhead. Stretch. Oh, I gotta stretch to that. Feels good. All right, here we go. We're going to have down with the shoulders, soften the elbows, rotate your hands over the top of the crown. Push it down through the belly, all the way through the chakras. Round it out and up, baby back bend on top. And back to neutral position. Good, here we go. Soft shoulders, elbows over the crown, down through the belly, round it out, up overhead, stretch. Back to neutral. One more time. Soft shoulders, soften the elbows. Over the top of the crown. Here we go. Down through the belly, round it out, up overhead, lean back. And back to neutral. Good. Now we're going to go side to side. Elbows are soft, shoulders are down. Over to the right, over to the left, over to the right, and over to the left, and right, and left. Good. All right, let's do a little gyroscope. So instead of going all the way flat, like sometimes I like to do, we're just going to gyroscope around the front and come up and come back. Good. Around the front, come back. And one more time this direction. Good. All right, let's go the other way. And front and back. And front and back. And front and back. Good. Come back up to neutral. Release your hands. We're going to grab and pull. Grab the rope, pull it down. Grab the rope, pull it down.
Grab the rope, pull it down. Grab the rope, pull it down. Good. Both hands, I want you flat to the ceiling. Hopefully you can see that. So my palms are like I'm pushing the ceiling up, right? So up, overhead, now out to a T. And hold it there, pushing with the heels of your hand, pulling your fingers towards your face. Hold. Releasing it down. Here we go. Release it down. Come up through the center. Palms are up. Fingers curl. Pinky, ring finger, middle finger, index. Rotate them in. Now your hands are facing back behind you. Pull those in, bend the elbows and the palms face forward. Now push it out. Let your hands go down, around, and up. I shoot them up through the center, splaying out my fingers, and do the lotus hand, okay? So basically thumb against your index, and you fan up those fingers, okay? While you're in this position, check your knees are soft. Check your tailbone is down. Check your chest is up, your chin is back, and you have a decent look on your face, and you're not making weird faces. And here we go. Release it down. Come up through the center. Palms are up. Fingers curl. In. Rotate your wrist. Open to the chest. Push it out, down, around. Up through the center. Lotus hands. Hold it there. Check your posture. One more time. Release it down. Come up to the center. Palms are up. Fingers curl in. Rotate your wrist. Open to the chest. Push it out. Down, around, up. Lotus hand. Hold it there. Right arm stretch across. So we're going to come across our body. Set that arm down inside your elbow. Pull with that one to stretch out that shoulder blade and wiggle your fingers on both hands. Wiggle, jiggle, 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 wiggle, jiggle. Good. Now behind your back. So swing the right arm down, around, behind your back. Take your left hand and put it on that elbow and give it a little tug. I like to do what I call creepy crawl down the back, trying to see if I can get a little stretch a little harder. Left arms turn. Here we go. Swing them both out. Left arm sinks down inside of that right elbow. Pull on that right arm to stretch out that shoulder and stretching out your fingers. Good. Now, behind our back with the left arm. Swing it down, around, behind your back. And then take your right hand on your left elbow and give it a little tug. Good. Both arms are going to release now. So we have them both release. I'm going to scoop a big scoop of energy from behind me, pull it into the belly, and lift that ball of energy up and let it trickle on down on your sides. Good. We're going to stand on our left foot and do point and flex with our right. Hopefully you can see my feet. All right. Standing on my left foot, right foot's available. Here we go. We have point and flex. I do my hands at the same time. And flex. And point and flex. And point and inside rotation with your foot. Inside, inside, inside. Now outside, 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 and out. Standing on your right, prep your left foot down. Ready? Point and flex. Point and flex. Point and flex. Point and flex. Inside. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Outside. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Good. Now let's go into a wider stance at this point. So I want your feet closer to the width of your hips now and not quite so close together. Here we go, back in position. Soften knees, tailbone down, shoulders up, back, down. Chin comes back, hands are out, smile on your face, right? Good. Arms out to the side. Now we're going to reach back and forth like a tug of war, starting with your right. Reach it right, reach it left. 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 Hold it on the right. Come up and over the top. Good. Flat back, left side. Here we go. Down, 2, 3, and hold it there. Now all the way down to your foot. Down to that left foot. Little bit deeper. Try and get your head a little closer to your knee. Good. Now to the middle. Rotate. Switch your weight on your heels. Make sure you're in the middle. A little bit deeper. Good. Bend your knees, drop your tail, and roll it up. When you get up to the top, we're into that same position. And do the other side. Here we go. Soften knees, tailbones down, shoulders up, back, down, chin, hands, smile. Arms out to the side. Over to the left this time. Reach left, right, left, right, left, right, left, and right. Hold it on the left, up and over the top. Flat back to the side. Drop 1, 2, 3. Hold it there. Down to your foot. Little bit deeper. Over to the middle. Rotate your weight. Good. Here we go. Bend your knees, drop your tail, and roll it up. Good. How are we doing? So far, so good? Now we're going to do our hips, okay? Same thing. We're in that wider stance, so our feet are a little bit wider. Okay, here we go. Knees, tailbone, shoulders up, back down. Put your chin back, put your hands up. Nice smile on your face. Arms out to the side. We're going to do our hips this time. Over to the right. It's a right hip and a left hip and a right hip and a left hip and a right and a left and a right and a... Hold it on the right. Now we're going to plie down with both knees, but I want you to keep your torso nice and up. So both knees bend. The left knee is turned out to the side. The right knee is kind of forward. Here we go. We have sink, 2, 3, 4. This should feel a little bit awkward. And the arms come down and up and float on down. Left arm's going to go down to that side. Right one's going to come all the way around like a clock and down to the floor. Good. And then you roll it up. Same thing over to the other side. Here we go. Soft knees, tailbone comes down, shoulders go up, back, down. Chin comes in, hands at the side, smile on your face, out to the side. Left hip, and right hip, and left and right, and left and right, and left and right. Hold it on the left, plie down, both knees. Keep your torso straight, 2, 3, and the arms go down and up, and they float on down. Right arm on the thigh. Left comes all the way around like a clock, down to the floor. Roll it up. Good. All right. So, break some of my normal things here. Let's get some more hip things. Let's get our hips nice, our feet nice and wide for a moment. And just back and forth with the hips. Back and forth with the hips. Back and forth. Now with some knees, just to strengthen our legs. Knee, 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 and knee. Adding some arms, bring them in. Down and up, up to down, down to up, up, other way, here we go. Up, in, up and in and in. Good. All right, so let's see. Another thing I want to do, put your feet fairly close together. Let's do our knees just a little bit here. So we're going to come down in a little bit of a squat position with your hands. Don't put a lot of pressure on your knees, but your hands can rest softly there. And we want to make some knee circles. So my first knee circle I'm doing is counterclockwise, meaning from the front it goes to the left. Right? We're just warming up those joints. Knees, knees. Good. And then let's go over to the right side. So now it's clockwise circular motion with both knees together. Good. All right. There we go. And then the last thing we want to do is just add a little bit of shimmy in there. So feet are going to be fairly close together, maybe a fist width apart. Knees are soft. Your tailbone comes down, pubic bone up, shoulders forward, up, back, down. Chin comes back, hands at your side, pleasant look on your face. Let's get a little shimmy going. What's a shimmy, Julie? Our knees are going back and forth, but they don't hard take the weight every time. You just go softly underneath us, back and forth. And as you feel comfortable with that, you can go a little bit faster. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6. A little faster. Da 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 da. Good. Get your shimmy going. This is all happening underneath you. So if you were behind a table, right, you don't want anyone really knowing that you're shimmying under there. Let them add some arms with our shimmy. Shimmy, 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 shimmy. And the arms come up. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Overhead temple. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Slowly lower down. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Frame in the booty. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Nice work. Okay, so that's my basic warm up. Okay, see if we got anything going on here. Sound is good. Good, good, good. All right, cool. All right, you guys. So let's see. The next thing I'd like to do is just run through some basic range of motion exercises. Okay, so we're going to go through just kind of head to toe, some different things you can do with different parts of your body. So range of motion isolation. I'm going to grab a swig of water. Pardon me. All right. Does anyone have any questions about the warm up so far? Everything going all right? If you do, please let me know. If you put a comment below, if I don't get to answer this time, I'll answer next week. There you go. So I'll have something for that. All right, so I'm going to start off with some basic range of motion exercises. Some of these movements I use all the time. Some of them I hardly ever use, but it's good to go through them anyway and just make sure that we have a good understanding of our isolation range of motion. So what does that even mean? Well, so basically what that means to me, I'm going to understand this a little bit more. And I'm going to go back to a nice slow song. We'll go back to the beginning of that. Okay, so we're going to start off with head slides. I don't dance head slides a lot, but every once in a while you want to just throw one in your routine, right? Because it looks really cool. So we're going to start off with head slides. We're going to come down to shoulder rolls, shoulder shimmies, some chest movements. I didn't put a body wave in here yet, but we'll work up towards that. We're going to work with our pelvis and moving it around, sliding forward and back, making circles and shapes, things like that. And then some bump type movements and some shimmy movements. Okay, so we'll walk through that way and
See how I did that? Here we go. So the first thing I want to play with are head slides. So a head slide, basically what you want to do is you're trying to get your head to slide in a horizontal fashion without having a tilt, okay? So this range of motion exercise, we just want to stay horizontal. We're not doing the tilting of the head. The tilting is more, from what I know, is more of an Indian type of concept. So right now, I just want a basic head slide back and forth. That being said, act like there's a wire running through your ears and you're holding the wire on each side and you're simply sliding your head back and forth on that, right? So you're working on your neck muscles a little bit. So let's get our invisible wire in there. We're gonna push it to the right and push it to the left. Then push it to the right and push it to the faster is easier. Right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. If you have a mirror and you can look at your eyes in the mirror, watch yourself and try and keep those nice and horizontal. Typically for the head slide, one of the more common hand positions is to have your hands overhead in undulate and your elbows out. That being said, try to get your arms behind your ears. You don't want it here, okay? I don't want to cover my head so that you can't see me. I want my arms nice and back and framing big and taller in my head. And your head's going to look like it's sliding back and forth in this little space. So you have right, left, 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 right, left. Okay. Now there are other head positions you can do. You can do some circles and things like that. But for today, we're just going to do the right, left, okay? Next thing we want to come down to are our shoulders. And we want to isolate our shoulders by doing a shoulder roll. So the way I'm going to isolate right now is I'm going to go ahead and park my hands at my hips. Normally when you're dancing, well, you know, everybody's got exceptions to every rule, right? Typically, though, you don't want to rest your hand like you're bored or irritated or whatever. So you don't have that open hand on your hip. That's why when I do the hands at the front, I kind of act like I'm sticking my thumb down into a loop and then the rest of my hand is just kind of hanging out there. There's lots, that's more of a tribal style positioning for your hand, I think, but it still works. It's quite lovely and it keeps you isolated, okay? You could also just put your hand down in crescent or just kind of a low cascade position. However, it doesn't really lock your hand into place. We want to lock it in because we want to just isolate those shoulders right now. So we're going to do we'll do this one, okay? We'll do the tribal style hook at the hip. So your hand, act like it's super glued right there. And can't get away, okay? Shoulder roll. Let's start with our right shoulder. Forward, up, back, down. Your hand's stuck here, so your elbow is going to be doing some moving, right? Forward, up, back, down. Let's try it slower. Forward, up, back, not slower, but to the music. Forward, up, back and down. Forward, up, back and down. Forward, up, back and down. Let's try the left shoulder. Ready? Here we go. Forward, up, back and down. Forward, up, back and down. Forward, up, back and down. Right shoulder only. Here we go. Forward, up, back and down. Forward, up, back and down. So I'm connecting those dots and making it round. Left shoulder. Here we go. Forward, up, back and down. Forward, up, back and down. Forward, up, back and down. 2 on the right. Here we go. 1 and 2. Left side. Here we go. 1 and 2. Single on the right. Right around and left around and right around and now they're going to overlap. Here we go. Right goes up, now left goes up. Now right goes up, now left goes up. Right goes up, now left goes up. Right goes up, now left goes up.
Okay, so by keeping your hands stationary here, you were forced to isolate and do range of motion just on those shoulders, right? So you can do that same motion by pulling your arms out. Here we go. We have right shoulder, left shoulder, right shoulder, left shoulder, right shoulder, left shoulder, right shoulder, left shoulder. But what I have to do there is I have to actually place my hands on these imaginary places, stationary, so that they don't get to move, so that that hand is stationary and the shoulder is doing the work. Okay, hope that makes sense and you're getting that. So those are our shoulder rolls. All right, so far so good. Let's talk about shoulder shimmy. Okay, so a lot of our chest movement comes from our shoulders, actually, okay, and our shoulders and our rib cage. So a shoulder shimmy, typically we're going to have our arms out again, but for right now, let's pull them back to the stationary spot just to isolate them, okay? So I want to think about my, how do I say this? Right shoulder goes forward, left shoulder goes forward, right forward, left shoulder, right shoulder, left shoulder, right and left. And that looks funky with my hands down, so I'm going to go ahead and put my hands out. Typically, my arms are going to be out in a neutral position during this thing. And if I think about holding on to a broomstick or something, so that as one goes forward, the other one's forced to go back. As the other one goes forward, the other one's forced to go back, okay? And I'm also thinking about if there was a little shelf right here, that I'm knocking something off of that shelf. Try that with the shoulders. We have right shoulder and left shoulder, and right shoulder and left shoulder. Notice the hands are locked in space and just the shoulders are moving. Your hips are stationary. There's no movement happening there, just your shoulders and the right and the left. And speed it up. Here we go. Right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. Double that. Here we go. Right, left, 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 right, left. One more set. Right, left, right, left, right, left, right. Good. Arms come down, arms come up, and relax them. Good. All right, so those are our shoulder shimmies and shoulder rolls, right? Then we want to play with some arm undulations. So an undulation is just basically, I think, a pretty word for a kind of a big, flowy, snaky kind of movement. So we're going to start off with a full arm undulation, okay? And this can be brought down into really tiny little bits, or it can be ginormously big. So right now we're going to do the ginormously big version, just so that you can have a place to whittle down from. Okay, so arm undulation on the right-hand side. I'm going to think of this kind of like the whole Karate Kid thing with the paint the fence, okay? So think about painting the fence. So the back, and I want this to stay rounded. So it's a little bit fancier than paint the fence, but you get the general idea. So back of the arm, I'm rounding it. So I've got a rounded elbow and a little bit of a rounded wrist. I'm coming up the side of that wall. I have two planes of glass, one in front of me, one behind me. So I can't go forward or back. I can only go up this side, okay? So I'm going to go back of the hand. The back of that hand is touching that imaginary wall, and it's being dragged up until it gets to the tip and the fingertips are free. Now it's going to go overhead, and I'll bend down so you see this. Overhead, I like to go over like a seaweed in the water and then float down. Now notice how rounded that elbow, and this is still a nice rounded thing. It's coming in, hitting that wall. It's going blah, 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 until the fingertips are free from the wall. It floats in front and then starts back out. So seaweed in the water is a good concept for this as far as how that movement goes. Right arm comes up overhead. Right here, you have to shift and shove your shoulder back, not shove, rotate your shoulder back so that arm can come up overhead. Seaweed in the water right here. Seaweed overhead, and then a nice rounded arm coming down. I like to float it across the front of my body, and then the wave comes and goes the other direction, right? So we have overhead, rotate the shoulder, and down. Good. Let's try it with the left arm. Here we go. Left arm comes in front of our body, round it out. I'll turn a little bit sideways so you can see. Round it out. Overhead, up and over like seaweed in the water, and flat palm coming down, rounded arm coming down. Good. Let's try that again. Seaweed, nice and slow, range of motion coming up overhead, seaweed in the water, and the palm is now up against the wall. Good. All right. So let's do one more on the left. Rotating that shoulder overhead and down. Right arm up, 2, 3, overhead and down. And left one takes over. Left coming up, overhead and down. Nice. All right, cool. So those are arm undulations. That's a full arm undulation coming back. Arm undulations can be shortened and made much tinier and turned into snake arms, right here, and things like that. But for this, we're just doing full arm undulation. Okay, so let's talk about our chest, lifting and dropping our chest. So just double checking for messages, guys. Oh, here I am. Okay, so the next thing is going to be a chest lift and drop. So as you're in your normal posture and you've rolled your shoulders forward, up, back, and down, right? And your chin's back and your arms out and all the things. So you're already lifted, but we want to lift it just a little bit higher. So we're going to imagine a jewel in the center of our chest right now, and we're going to lift that jewel up and let it sink back down. Lift up, sink down, lift up, sink down, okay? So one of the ways that we're able to do that is we're going to squeeze our shoulder blades together, causing that chest to lift up and come down. One way that you can get this into your body, but it's not the way to keep it there, but if you're having a hard time feeling this, taking a deep breath into your chest is a good way to lift it up. So you feel that lift, right? Well, you don't want your movements to rely necessarily on your breath as you're dancing, because that would not be good. So we want to feel that same feeling without taking that deep breath in, okay? So that being said, let's go ahead and plant our hands on our hips again. And we're back in our posture, so our shoulders are nice and down and our chest is already lifted. So we're going to pull up like a jewel from the center of your chest. You're squeezing your shoulder blades together, okay? Here we go. Lift and relax it. And lift and relax. 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 So I'm also feeling it up here in my upper abdominals. So I'm kind of squeezing and pulling up down my rib cage. So that's your chest lift and drop. And then we also want to be able to slide our chest from side to side. So if you're thinking about the center line of your bust being like the old-fashioned typewriter, chung, chung, right? So that sliding, that bar sliding back and forth on a horizontal motion is what we're looking for. So again, we're going to isolate just our rib cage. So we're going to go ahead and plant our hands down here. I want you to look at, if you have a mirror available to you. If you don't, I totally get it. But if you do have a mirror, and especially if your mirror has a crack line, like where the two meet, if you can stick yourself, even though it's weird to look at yourself like that, stick yourself right on that crack line. And I want you to push your, let's see, how am I going to say that? I want you to slide your ribs side to side. It doesn't have to go far, like maybe even an inch or so to begin with. These aren't muscles you're used to working with, right? These are all in your obliques. So Here we go. We're going to go to the right, come back to the middle, go to the left, right and center, and left and center, and right and center, and left and center, right, center, left, center, right, center, left, center, right and center, and left and center. So that being said, your head and your pelvis should be in alignment. They're one thing. And the only thing, like if you imagine a big energetic pole going down through the center of your body, right? All the way through your crotch, all the way down into the earth. And your body is kind of riding up and down on that pole. Most of the time, everything's locked in, but one thing's allowed to be locked out or to come off of the pole. Right now, the only thing allowed off the pole is your chest. Center and side and 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 center. So you can feel the little crunching and pulling here in your abdominals, right? In your obliques.
A typewriter.
All right, let's see. Okay, so let's see. So we have the lift and drop. We have the side to side slides. And then, okay, so let's try our vertical chest circle, right? So we're just going to put those things together. So we're going to make like a box kind of motion to get ourselves, we're eventually trying to take, if you had pencils on each of your bust and you were drawing circles, that's where we're aiming for, okay? So here we go. I'm going to go ahead and put my arms out to the sides just because that's my neutral where I'm used to. I'm going to slide my chest to the right. I'm going to lift that chest up, right? Like you did all the up and drop. I'm going to slide over to the left side, and then I'm going to pull back down into neutral. Right, lift, left, neutral. Right, lift, left, neutral. Okay, so you have those little landing points. So now what we're going to do is pull those landing points together, connect the dots, and we're going to do all those little fine motor muscle things to get us up and around and chunk into the next one. Okay, so pulling all those little baby muscles in to make it come out nice and smooth and round. Here we go. Right and lift and left and drop and right and lift and left and down and right and lift and left and down, right and lift. Now make it nice and round. Here we go. Right and lift and left and neutral and right and lift and left and a little bit faster. Right, lift, left and drop. 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 Good. All right, let's go the other direction because you got to be able to do both sides. Just keep ourselves nice and even and balanced. Here we go. To the left. And a lift and a right and come down and a left and a lift and a right and come down and a left and a lift and a right and come down and a left and a lift. Smooth it out. Here we go. Left and up and right and down. Left and lift and right and down. Left and lift and right and down, left and lift. Let's go a little bit faster, make it easier. Left, lift, right, down, 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 left, lift, right, and down. Okay, cool. So that's our chest circle vertical wise. Let's come down and let's play with our hips for a few minutes, okay? So One of the warm-ups I like to do is a pelvic tuck and a pelvic drop. Okay. That being said, I personally don't find it to be a good idea to do this movement ever straight onto an audience. If you have to put a pelvic tuck and a pelvic drop into your routine, I think it's a nice idea to turn on the diagonal a little bit and you don't want a pelvic thrust to the audience. Okay, just not a good plan. So a little bit sideways, right? There we go. Nice, here we go. Right now we're just gonna loosen up our pelvic floor, tucking it, releasing it, tucking it, releasing it, tucking it, releasing. So tuck up, release back, tuck up, release back. So we're not going into belly dance posture here. I'm not doing a nice little tuck. I'm releasing. So up and your booty goes out. Lift and drop and lift and drop and lift and drop. So we're just trying to get our pelvis warmed up so that it's moving loosely. Good. Okay. So that's probably enough of that. That's rare that you dance that unless you're doing a hard Turkish style, and that's usually a drop, drop, drop. Okay. Okay. Let's do our hip ups and downs so that we can work into an Ami. Okay. So feet are flat, toes are forward, knees are softly bent. So we're in a little bit of a plie position. Tailbone comes down. Okay. Let's talk about if both knees are bent and I straighten just one, and not straighten, lock it out, but just straighten it more than the other. So like both knees are bent here. I'm going to straighten just my right knee. My left one stays bent. My right hip is forced up, right? Because of my skeletal structure. So as that knee straightens, that leg is now longer and that hip has to come up into my body. I soften that knee back down and my hips are back to even. Left knee, I take and straighten my left knee. My left leg has to come up so that hip is up into my body. I soften that left knee back down and it's neutral with the other knee. Okay. So let's do one leg at a time coming up. Right up, neutral. Left up, neutral. Straighten your right, neutral. Straighten your left, neutral. Straighten right, both are bent. Straighten left, both are bent. Straighten right, both are bent. Straighten left, both are bent. Right and middle and left and middle and right and middle and straight through without the middle. Here we go. Right hip and left hip and right hip and left hip and right hip and left hip and right hip and left hip. Are you seeing your hips come up into your body? Try and keep the top of your body as if you had a table in front of you and nobody knows that you're wiggling your hips. Right and a left and a right and a left. So you're just bending and straightening your legs one at a time, right? Hip and hip and hip and hip, hip and hip and hip and hip. Okay, so you've got your hip ups side to side. You've got your pelvic forward, pelvic release. Right, left, front, back, right? Okay, so let's put those all into a little circle that we're going to call an Ami. Okay, so the way that I like to do an Ami, feet are flat, toes are forward, knees are softly bent, tailbone comes down, pubic bone up, shoulders forward, up, back, down, chin comes back, hands at your hips, smile on your face. Good. All right, so we're going to start an Ami. So we're going to let our right hip come up. So I'm going to straighten my right knee. My right hip only is up. Everything else is down. Now I'm going to do a pelvic tuck. So I'm going to boom, both sides are coming forward and I'm crunching up, pubic bones coming up. From here, my left hip now is coming up. So I straighten my left knee and then I release this down gently. I don't want a hard hit to the back, but I release this down gently into a neutral release to the center. So right hip up, pelvic tuck, Left hip up, neutral release. Right hip up, pelvic tuck, left hip up, neutral release. A little bit. Right, forward, left, release. Right, forward, left, release. Right and forward and left and release. Right and forward and left and release. So the same thing we did a while ago, just like our chest circle. Boom, 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 boom. So you have these places that you're going to hit, but now in between those, we're going to use our smaller muscles and whoosh them into the next position. So as this movement gets going quicker and quicker, it starts looking like, I call it the wobbly plate. So it's like you drop the plate on the ground, and you know how the plate, when it lands, it doesn't just bonk, it goes wonka, 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 wonka. Okay, so you're making wonka, wonka, wonka with your hips, basically, okay? Okay, so here we go. Right, forward and left and release, and right and forward and left, little faster, and right, forward, left, release. Right, forward, left, release. Right, forward. Now smooth it out. Here we go. Right and forward, left. Hard to do it slow. Right and forward, left, release. Right and forward and little bit faster. Right, forward, left, release. 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 Forward, left, release. Little bit faster. Right, forward. So this one is usually like, in my mind, I hear this. That's my cue for that move. All right, so that one's going counterclockwise. Let's do the same movement going clockwise, because this is all about getting ourselves even and rehearsing both sides. So left hip forward, right, and release. Left hip forward, right, and release. Left hip forward, right, and release. Left hip forward, right, and a little bit left and forward, right, release. Left and forward, right, release. Left and forward, little bit faster. Left, forward, right, release. 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 Little bit faster. Boom, 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 boom. Right? Okay, oops, that's my playlist. Okay, so those are Amis. Usually everyone has one favorite side or the other to go to. I like going counterclockwise. There's some people that only go clockwise, right? It's just you do you, or you do whatever your troupe is doing or whatever's in the choreography. But that's basically the concept of that movement. All right, the next thing I want to play with here, and I don't know how long this class is going, probably longer than it's supposed to, but I'm just going to keep going because it's live and who cares, and you can rehearse whenever. So we're going to keep going. Let me find my slow melody loop again because I like that one the best. If you hear songs that you like, let me know. I'll let you know what they are, and you can look them up on iTunes and download them. A lot of the stuff I like is from Radio Laria. They're really good at having just like bass beats of stuff and just some real simple music over the top. Just love them. So they're great for like warm up and rehearsals and stuff. All right, let's talk about hip slides. Okay, so
When I'm doing a hip slide, my feet are typically at a wider position, meaning they're more towards the edges of my hips. I try not to get my feet wider than my hips very often, just because it doesn't look good. You want your focus to come up on your hips, okay? So your eyes are going to go to the widest part. So if your feet are wider than your hips, the eyes are going to go down to the feet. Well, in belly dancing, you really want your eyes to focus up here on your hips or on your torso. So I'd like to keep my hips kind of within the realm of the edges of my hips, okay? Arms out to the side. These are soft, but they're not hard bent on this. They're a little bit straighter, but they're not locked out, okay? So we never lock out our knees. We have soft knees always. It just depends on how soft they are, whether they're just slightly soft or they're in a hard plie, okay? So soft knees, but straightish. Let's put our arms out to the side. We're going to slide our hips back and forth along a line, okay? Side to side. Over to one side and over to another side. And over to a side and over a little faster. Here we go. To the right, to the left. To the right, to the left. To the right, to the left, to the right, to the left. Okay, so that being said, as your hips go out side to side, we have a tendency to want to lift up. Lift it up, lift it up, lift it up. Well, in a hip slide, you don't really want to lift up. You want to more push it down because you're wanting your line to stay relatively neutral and horizontal. And when I come to the edge of that hip, my hip naturally wants to come up a little bit. So what I find that I do is I pull down just the slightest little bit muscularly with my hip as I get out to that slide and go, ugh. And I don't really bend my knee, but I feel like there is a little bit of a pull down with that knee. Trying to level this out to straight. Slide it to the left, level straight. Slide it to the right and straighten. Slide it to the left and straighten. Pull down, 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 okay? So you're trying to keep this line nice and straight, and there's a little bit of a pull down, pull down, pull down. And I'm going to say there's this much muscle to it and that much mental to it, okay? So it's more, for me anyway, more of thinking, anchor down right there. So that's how you get your hip slides going. Slide, 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 and slide, okay? So make sure that you're pulling down and anchoring on those hip slides. All right, so let's talk about hip circles. Here we go. So we're going to start a big hip crescent. Okay, we'll start with the hip crescent. So the way that I like to think of this is I've got this slide back and forth, right? Now, all of a sudden, I'm parked over here on the left, and somebody stuck one of those orange cones right here. So I can't slide over it. Okay, it's in my way. I can't get through. So I have to go around it. So I'm going to have an obstacle course right here out of my slide through, so I can't make it. So I have to go in front of it and go around it. The way I'm going to do that is I'm going to pull with my pubic bone forward and round it around that, making a crescent shape, okay? A crescent being a half, the front half of your circle. So over to the left, I've got all my weight on my left side. Now I'm going to push forward with my pubic bone to go around the obstacle. Push forward, let the obstacle course go behind your butt, and now come back onto your line. So you pull back in a little bit to get back on that horizontal line. Push forward, back to the line, because I made it around. Here we go. Push forward, back to the line. Here we go. Push forward, back to the line. One more time. Here we go. Push forward, back to the line. A little bit faster. Here we go. Crescent left and crescent right. And crescent left and
crescent right. Here we go. Crescent left, crescent right, crescent left, and crescent right. Okay, so as you push forward with your pubic bone and you've got all your weight going forward, there is a little bit of a counterbalance on the top of your body. There's a little bit of a lean back to that, not massive, but a little tiny bit. And what else did I want to say? There's something else that was right there and that went blah, 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 ha ha. Okay, whatever. Here we go. Crescent right and tuck. Oh, the weight on your toes. Okay. When you're pushing forward, you should feel most of your weight go onto the front of your toes, right? And when you come back to that center spot, the center line, you can almost feel your weight shifting back to your heels, okay? So let's crescent a few more times, and then we'll do the back side of the crescent, okay? Push forward to the left. Push forward to the right. Push forward to the left. Push forward to the right. Push forward to the left. And push forward to the right. And I just saw something pop up on here. Oh, thank you, Rushana. I love you. Mwah. Thank you. It helps that I learned some of my stuff from you a long time ago. Just saying. All right. Okay. So now let's do the back half of the crescent, okay? So push it over to the left again. Now let's do the back half. So when we're doing our back half, you've got to avoid the booty lift, right? No booty lifting. So we're going to pull in tight on our lower abdominals. And it's almost like someone's pushing us from right here in our tummy, pushing back. So we're keeping our tailbone down and coming around that circle and stopping at the line. So we go back into the line, back into the line. Feel the weight on your heels and then kind of neutral on your foot. Back and neutral. So same thing, you're going around that obstacle course, but you're on the back half of it now instead of the front half. Back and front. Back and front. Try and keep your tailbone down. So pulling in on your lower abdominals. Basically, don't let your butt scooch out. Keep it down. Think about if you had a tail, right? If we were in if all that evolution stuff has any merit to it, which I don't know, who knows. Whatever. If you act like you had a tail right here, whoop, you had a tail. And you want your tail to point down towards the ground, okay? So you just want to keep that angle of your tailbone down towards the ground as you're coming down. Over to the side. Here we go. Let's do the front half and then do the back half. Da, 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 da. Here we go. Forward to the right. Now the back. Back around to the left. Now the front. Forward to the front. Now the back. Back around to the back. To the front. Forward to the front and round the back and forward, front and back. Let's stop on the right front, other way. Forward to the left and back to the right and forward to the front and back to the right and forward to the front and back to the right, forward to the front, and back to the right. Stopping on the left, forward to the other way. Forward to the right, and back to the left, and forward to the front, and back to the left, and forward to the right, and back. Last one, and forward to the right. Hold it right there. Good. All right. Cool. Let's see. So that's basically your crescents, turning them into circles, right? You just connect the front and the back of the crescent. And that's an external hip circle versus an internal hip circle, right? Okay, so let's just get those right. So we have an AMI, which is an internal hip circle. It's all happening right inside here. AMI, 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 AMI versus a hip circle. Okay, see the difference? hip circle. All right. Okay. Hopefully you got those different. Now let's talk about hip pivot, hip shimmy. Okay. How about last time I did it, I'm sorry, I'm pausing and thinking about this. Last time I did it, I was doing it for more of a tribal base. So I had the more of the boom, checka, boom, right? Okay, so let's just talk about doing a basic hip. Basic Egyptian step. Let's do it. Basic Egyptian. Okay, so this is the cabaret style of Egyptian and not the tribal style of Egyptian. And maybe in another video coming up, since we're doing this now, maybe I'll do a little comparison. I've been wanting to do that for lots of years of comparing what's the difference between an Egyptian cabaret and a tribal cabaret, because there's a big difference. It depends, the one's different. Okay, so let's do the Egyptian cabaret, right? This is your basic Egyptian movement. Step on the right foot, bring your left toe forward, straighten your left knee, bringing the hip up, release your left knee down. Now, we're going to step on that left one. Step on the left one, bring your right foot up, straighten that knee, bringing the hip up, release the knee, letting it down. Step right, touch left, lift, release. I'm off on my music, it's making me crazy. Dun, dun, da, 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 dun, da, da, da. Step and touch and lift and release. 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 Okay, that is your basic Egyptian movement. Obviously, that's done in micro breakdowns. So normally when you dance it, you just kind of slide through all those pieces and you step on it and you bump it. And you step and you bump. But there's that prep up down thing happening in between there. Hope that makes sense. So sometimes breaking things down too much makes it harder. Sometimes it makes it easier. It just depends on the person, right? So we'll try it with the slow version, and then I'll bring it up to what I think is a little bit easier. Here we go. So normal. Step, touch, lift, and release. Step, touch, lift, and step on the right foot. Step, touch, lift, and step on the left foot. Step, touch, lift, and release. Now you can step forward or backward. It doesn't matter. Or you can step in place. Step, touch, lift, and release. Step and touch and lift and release. Okay? So let's speed that up just a little bit. More like you would dance it. And make sure I have a slow, not mid-tempo. Let's go to a slow melody. Okay. This is the fast version. Here we go. Step, bump, step, bump, step and bump and step and bump and step and bump and step and bump, step and bump, step and bump. So for those of you who already know the Egyptian movement and you want to add a little something, something with your hands so they're not just out here in home position. Bump, 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 bump. Okay? So the way that works, if you step on your right foot, you prep your left, the hip that's getting ready to do the bump is the same hand that's out. Stop in the name of love. But not really, right? Just kind of your hands up. Just as you're looking at yourself in the mirror, if you are able to, try and keep your hands slightly under your chin so you're not blocking your face, okay? So your other hand goes like it's behind, like it's holding your hair out of the way, or just behind your ear, just kind of holding underneath there.
That's your holder. That's but taking the weight is your holding arm. And then the knee that's prepped, the hip that's bumping, that's your extended arm. So that has a bump and release. As you step on that left foot, you put your left hand behind your head. You prep your right hand to come up. That knee comes up and you have a bump release. Okay? Now, the bump release happens pretty quickly as you're dancing it, depending on how fast you're dancing it. But we'll do a little bit with the music. 5, 6, starting on your right foot. Step, bump, 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 step, 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 bump. Good. Okay, so I'm going to go and teach you my little combo that I like. That's my beginner 101 combo. So let's see. We have, after our step bumps, we have right arm comes up overhead and an undulation just to overhead. And it's going to come into what I call temple arm, which is hard to see in here because I have a low ceiling. But temple arm is framing the head. So make a little, when you frame yourself, when you make frames in general, try and leave what I call a little bit of sacred space, okay? So like when you're framing your arms, you don't want them to be tight. You want them to have a little bit of sacred space around. Give your energy a place to live, right? So not real tight in here. You would have a little bit of roundedness to your elbows. So there's your sacred space around your head. So as you bring your arm up into undulation, da-da-da, park it, da-da-da-da-da-da, park it. Good. So just undulate, undulate. And then we let our hips come up by themselves. Right hip, left hip, right hip, left hip, right hip, left hip, right? With your arms overhead. Slowly lower your arms out to a T shape. Right hip, left hip, right hip, left hip. Keep your hands right there. Boom, 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 boom. Now stop your hips and let's do shoulders. Right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. Okay? Then you can step back with your same Egyptian. Step, bump, step, bump, step, bump, step, bump. And then bring your hands down, frame your hips, and just a nice little loose Egyptian shimmy. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Okay? So we're going to start off with our Egyptian. I saw something show up. I think it was just, okay. Nothing important. Good. So we're going to start off with walking Egyptian forward, okay? Here we go. Step, bump. Step, bump. Step, bump. Step, right arm undulation. So right arm overhead and park it. Now left arm overhead and park it. Now hip ups as your arms come down. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now finish out the 5, 6 with your arms out. 7 and 8. Shoulder shimmies. Right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. Then we step back with our Egyptian cabaret. So you have right and a bump and a left and a bump. Step back right, bump your left leg and left, bump your right leg. And then you bring your arms down in front of your booty and go shimmy, 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 right? So basically your knee is just wiggling back and forth, which if you have a coin belt on, causes some good noise. Let's try the whole thing together. 5, 6, here we go. Step, bump, step, bump, step, bump. Right arm comes up. Right arm up. Overhead. Left arm, hips, bump. Right, left,
right, left, right, stepping back, Egyptian, right, bump, left, bump, right, bump, frame your booty, chicka, 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 ready, go again, here we go, right, bump, left, bump, right, bump, left, bump, and right arm overhead, and left arm over, right hip bump, right hip, left hip, left hip, right hip, left hip, shoulder shift, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, left, right, left, stepping back, right, bump, left, bump, right, bump, frame your booty, shimmy, 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 let's go again, here we go, right, bump, left, bump, right, bump, overhead, right arm comes up overhead, left arm comes up overhead, right hip, left hip, right hip, left hip, stay right there, shoulder shimmy, right, 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 left, right, left, right, left, right, left, stepping back, right, bump, left, bump, right, bump, left and frame it, shimmy, 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 shimmy. Couple more times, here we go, right, bump, left, bump, right, bump, left, bump, and right, overhead, and left, overhead, and they come down, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, shoulder shimmy, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, stepping back, bump, bump, ready, here we go, bump, 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 and up, 2, 3, 4, and up, 2, 3, 4, and right hip, left hip in place, stepping back, one more time, here you go. Ta-da! All right, cool. All right, you guys, I think that was all I've got for today for our Beginner 101 class. Sorry, I'm trying to turn off my music. There we go. If you have questions, please let me know. I appreciate you guys joining me. Feel free to share this with friends. I was supposed to be recording on other cameras and I totally forgot. Oops. We'll do that again. Maybe next time. Anyway, so thank you so much for joining me. Again, if you're able to make a donation, I would greatly appreciate it. $1 is awesome. It's like throwing someone a tip or buying them a cup of coffee. If you're able to. If you're not, I totally get that too. The best thing you can do for me is to like the video, subscribe to my channel, pass the word on to people. I'm going to keep up the free classes until it doesn't seem like the right thing to do, but I kind of feel like it's the right thing to do. So that's what I'm going to do. All right. So we're doing free classes. Pass the word. If you have friends that would like to learn about belly dancing, I'm happy to pass on what I've learned over my multitude of years. It's been so much fun for me. I've just gotten so much out of it that it's important that I share, right? I don't want it all to just hang out inside of here. I need to pass it on to other people so that they can enjoy it too. So thank you so much. I really appreciate you guys. Let's see. I think that's all I've got at the moment. If you have questions, please let me know. Feel free to email me. And if you know anybody who wants to buy a unicorn belly dance supplies, that would be awesome too. Pass the word. The store is for sale. I had to clear out some more space so I had room to dance in here, but we do have all the inventory out.
hopefully in the very near future, I will actually get an opportunity to get everything updated online. That would be good because right now it's just kind of not as updated as I would like it to be. But that's okay. One thing at a time. Okay, that's it. Love you guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I appreciate it. And I'll hope to see you next week. Pass the word to your friends. And remember, this is a YouTube video, so you can watch it over and over and over again. And if you have questions or you need to pause something, you can always go back and we'll add some more stuff next time. I don't think I'm going to do the advanced class today. I might try and do it tomorrow. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe later this afternoon, I might do one advanced class. I do have a choreography that I want to share with you. So for those of you who are a little bit more intermediate to advanced, it'd probably be a little bit more challenging than beginner 101 class with range of motion exercises. But, got to do something for everybody. All right, you guys, thank you so much. I appreciate your patronage and your support and just being with me. All right, take care. Have a wonderful day, and I will hope to see you next week. Bye.